Okay, so personality-wise, can you pull up the video, Nick, the bowing video? This will segue to the personality stuff. Yeah, go ahead. All right, play that shit. Boom! Did you see that bow? Look at this, and look how attentive she is. Right? Waiting for me in my penthouse apartment. Attentive, doing my laundry. Dinner's ready, running around. You know, she's getting me a beer. Stirring my noodles. She's very attentive.
Beatin Sheiks donated $199.
Yeah.
Whatever Brian and Q lists for women, they should be shamed. Us men are in our soft guy era. Preferences are have a career, weigh under 125 pounds, own their home, car, make 7 figures yearly. Drizzle, drizzle.
Drizzle, drizzle.
Drizzle, drizzle.
Soft guy era. Soft guy summer. We up? Yo, Bean Cheeks. Good to see you in the chat, man. It's been a while. Drizzle, drizzle, dude. Play the bow really quick one more time. Boom. She's got to be down to bow.
Okay.
Like first date, just hit me with a bow.
Oh.
Doesn't matter, and it's
Not
like
for McDonald's.
Yeah.
whatever,
Put in some effort, and then we'll talk.
So yeah, she's got to be willing to bow. Let's see what else. Personality. Okay, here we go. I'll just blast the personality. Moderate preference for introverted women. Quiet, calm, soft-spoken. Slightly endearingly awkward is cool, I guess. A little bit shy, a little bit nerdy. And actually, once like a shy, introverted person gets comfortable around you, their personality does tend to blossom. Modesty is huge, both in personality and appearance. I don't like big egos, super vain, diva shit. Brings me peace, doesn't quarrel, doesn't party, doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, doesn't go to bars or clubs. Low body count, no current or past promiscuity, undivided romantic and sexual attention, the earlier the better. I wrote down has a praise kink. I don't know, okay. A girl who helps me in my mission, someone who's attentive. And really the big thing though is if you're just down to like non-stop back scratches and massages, boom, you got me. Easy, easy. And that's pretty much it. Any objections there?
The bowing is crazy, Brian.
Is it?
Why?
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Why do you want somebody to bow so badly?
What do you mean?
Because I know it's going to come back to the topic of submission.
Wait, speak straight into the mic, but go ahead.
I know it's going to come back to the topic of submission.
Sure.
And that is submission comes straight from the Bible. The Bible.
I wouldn't look at this from a religious perspective. I would look at this from a secular perspective.
But then
That's
where
the
do you
problem.
get submission from? Yeah, that's
It's in nature.
You can, I mean,
submission is in nature.
Yeah.
where?
You-
Where in nature?
In mammalian species.
You don't think that there's submissive atheist women?
I'm sure there is, but I think it is in more times than not very harmful because it's coming from a very, very selfish, prideful, and just like across the board,
Wait, what-
board harmful, like
On the woman's part or the man's part?
on the man's part.
To desire a submissive woman?
To a woman bowing for you is harmful submission. Submission should
Articulate how it's harmful.
It's prideful on the man's part.
How is it prideful?
It's selfish.
How is it selfish?
Why do you want her to bow for you?
First explain to me, answer my question first. How is it harmful, or what was the other word you used? Harmful, or did you, what, not
Selfish.
Pride-
Prideful.
Selfish. How is it
Yeah.
selfish on the man's part? How is it harmful to the woman?
Because are you thinking about her experience or are you thinking about your experience?
I don't really understand your argument, but how is it harmful?
Because that's not going to be, it's not loving.
How is it not loving?
Because you're considering only your experience. And it's feeding your ego. Having somebody
Doesn't feed
bow
my
for
ego at
you,
all.
Can I ask something?
It for
No,
sure
hold on.
would. It for sure would, Brian. Having somebody bow for you would not feed your ego and make you feel more powerful.
It wouldn't make me feel more powerful.
Just make you feel respected.
But how is it, okay, so let's remove my side from this. How is it harmful to the woman? Articulate that.
Because it's this.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your argument, please.
Let me think. It's like a weird power dynamic that is. I'm all for.
Let me ask you a
power
question.
dynamic.
Do you want a guy to open the car door for you on a date?
Yeah. 'Cause
Wow, that's really harmful
loving.
to the man. That's a weird power dynamic that you want, that you insist a man open a car door for you when you have agency and you have the strength to open a car door. Articulate to me why you want a man to open the car door for you.
Because it goes back further than just like.
Cars are a recent invention of modernity. They've been around for like 100 years. Goes back to when? The caveman days?
Well, obviously not.
Okay, so
but
there's no evolutionary basis for a woman desiring a man to open a car door. So explain to me
I'm
why
pretty sure
women
it
want...
did originate for like safety reasons.
Safety
protecting
reasons.
protecting the woman. No, I actually do.
She's gonna blow out her shoulder opening a car door? Don't think so. Don't think so.
Do you know the history of chivalry?
Some.
Some. To basically woo a woman that you couldn't get, that wasn't attracted to you, so you basically tried to make her attracted to you by being subservient.
I think that's
Being a
very
little
secular.
bitch.
Very secular.
No, that's
take.
that's the actual history
don't-
from France, the chivalrous knights.
Yeah, but like if we went back biblically, people would love on others to show other people that they can experience God's love.
Yeah, but biblically, it's not. That's not. We talking about where we actually know it originated historically, like where you can date it back to. It was the chivalrous knights of France, and
That's where being.
that's where we. That's
kind
where
to
the
women
that's
came
where no
from?
the concept of chivalry, like wooing a woman, like trying to impress a woman, doing those kind of
Okay.
things. It dates back to, I believe, 15th century France. Might be a little earlier than that. Somewhere in between the 12th and the 16th century, France, chivalrous knights.
Okay, but I don't think women ever like demanded a man open a car door for them.
No, that's just a form of chivalry, and it all ties back into just trying to impress a woman. You're trying to be impressive to the woman.
Yeah.
You're trying to basically pedestalize her.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what opening a car door would be in a sense. It's like, Your Majesty, my queen.
Wait, so again though, how is it
Okay.
harmful to the woman for her to do a bow?
Because you're only thinking about yourself. That's
what
not
about-
the ground.
what-
I'm not saying it's going to like cause physical harm to her, but in the
Mental harm?
relationship, that's not going to be
Straight
very
into
healthy.
the mic.
It's-
Nick, I can't see her, so you have to be looking out for this. Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep looking at you. That's
fine.
why. But it's not going to cause a healthy relationship when you're only thinking about your experience and how you can be served instead of trying to consider her experience.
I have a couple questions
And
for
when
you.
both people do that, probably, do you know what? She might end up bowing for you. But when you're like, okay, I need to be bowed for, and like, I'm not going to think about how I can, bring love into this person's life. I'm just going to think about how she can make me feel better and better. That's not going to be grounds for a healthy relationship.
So you think that if a woman were to bow in a relationship, it would just be absolutely catastrophic, and it would just lead to the demise of the relationship just on virtue of her bowing and the man wanting her to bow?
I don't think it would be catastrophic, but I do think that having that is like an ideal for looking for relationships is like honestly like it's not
It's-
good.
I don't think it's healthy. Like honestly,
I think it's just very.
You don't think it's healthy?
No, I don't think it's very
Let me ask you-
healthy
okay,
in a
so I'll ask
relationship
both of you this
for a
question.
woman to bow to a guy that's doing too much.
It's unhealthy. Okay, so what labor, like, is it physically laborious? Is it grueling to do a
I
bow?
just feel like it's a
is-
slippery slope. Like
How's
you
it a
might
slippery
you might
slope?
ask her to bow for you, but then like what's next? What else are you going to be asking her to do that kind of just like lowers her ranking in the relationship?
It doesn't lower
It
her
is
ranking.
degrading,
It,
though.
So, yeah,
it's
no,
a,
no, no,
it's
no,
a
no.
bit degrading.
No, it actually elevates her.
No.
What do you got, Amy?
If she's
No.
bowing to you, would you bow back to
Nope.
her?
That's what my original question was going to be. Like, is this actually a fetish kink, or is this about submissive nature?
It's funny how upset they get about the bow thing.
I
So
think
here's what's interesting.
I think you
well,
might-
first
I'm
off,
not upset about
really
it, it's
quick,
just unhealthy.
just really quick question for you. Do you object? Obviously, you recognize there are cultures where bowing is more typical. Do you object to the bow in those cultures?
What cultures?
Like Asian cultures, for example, like Japan.
I don't know if they bow
They
to
bow.
their husbands.
I don't know
It's-
the
it's
specifics
women
of it, but bowing
bowing.
is more common.
Well, no, because I think that's totally different context. They're not.
Okay, sure. So we'll remove that from the
Yeah.
equation if you don't object to it in that context. It's cultural appropriation, though.
Bow is
culturally.
a sign to respect our elders. We don't bow to our like spouses. Like I don't get it. Like my nephews and nieces bow to me.
You're Vietnamese, though, right?
I'm Chinese Vietnamese. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know the specifics of the various, the cultures, the cultural specifics of each individual country. I know there are vast differences between Vietnam, Korea, Japan, China, Thailand, Mongolia, Laos, Indonesia. I don't know. There's plenty of Asian countries. They all have different cultures. So, yeah.
If you take it
But I'm
from
not
that,
making an
like,
argument of like, I'm doing this because of Asian cultures. No, this is just like some white boy shit.
But you won't answer why.
Yeah,
Why do you want her to bow?
Because I want it. Do I need any other
Why?
reasons?
Yes.
Well, one, because it's submissive. Because it's submissive. It's sort of a determination of her willingness to be submissive.
But what
And
is
be playful.
submission to
And be
you?
playful. It's not like some dark, twisted,
It
demented thing.
is.
For me, how is it dark? Articulate how, like you can't just throw it out and not have a reason for it. How is it dark?
Can I chime in?
Let me no.
I just
Actually,
don't, I
wait,
just
wait.
don't
Go
know
ahead.
how
Hold-
you
no, no,
could just
hold on,
stand
hold on.
there and watch somebody bow to you and not feel like, God, stop that. Just stand
That's
up.
because hold on.
Stop that.
But you're viewing it through the female lens. You desire
You want to know
typically
something funny?
what you have a
After
dick?
that night, the first night that I did the podcast and he showed the bowing video, I told my husband about it,
Yeah.
and then we were acting it out together, and I bowed to him, and he felt so weird, and he was like, "Don't ever do that again." And I was
Okay,
like,
cool.
I was like, "How does it make you feel when I bow to you?" He was like, "I can't even describe it. It's like, I just don't want you to do it. I feel weird about myself if you bow
and
to me."
before you did the bow, did you have a 5-minute conversation about how you feel? Like you told him that you think it's weird,
No.
and that you just literally
No, I was
admitted
like, oh,
that
it was
you
like,
guys were
the
talking
host
about
wants-
it, and you set up this totally inorganic bowing thing. One, he doesn't desire the bow. Two, you have opposition to the bow, so of course it was going to come off weird in that scenario. I've had women who've come on the show who said, "Hey Brian, I just hit the bow to my man just because I've seen it," and the husband liked it.
That is not something that
I've
women
had a
are
woman-
naturally going to
I've-
want to do
so
for
you can give your circumstantial thing. I can just give you an opposite scenario where we had a woman who was on who said she hit the bow and the husband loved it. Cool.
You probably freaked your husband out because he know you not even like that. He probably was like, "What the fuck?"
But hold on.
I am very submissive, though. I'm very submissive, but that was
Stop.
just taking it a step.
I
ahead.
actually like kind of give the bow as much seriousness as like you're wanting back scratches. It's like I don't see the need to give the bow. Sure, my husband actually asks like when he comes home from work that I meet him at the door and give him a kiss hello. Like that's not very far away. Oh, sorry, but yeah, that's not very far away from like the bow. But it's not like giving it so much power to compromise myself. My husband just said he wanted this because it, excuse me, and he wants to feel loved by me. So I don't see